To begin today's video, we actually pick up with Cyclops, aka Scott Summers. Now with Scott Summers, he is getting ready to go on a new mission. Now before he is able to go on this new mission, he needs a team. And the team he puts together is him and his two kids, which is Cable and Rachel Summers. Now with that being said, you do have these three characters getting ready to go on this new mission. Now the new mission is basically that a random island just popped up out of nowhere, and for some strange reason, Krakoa, the living island that the mutant race live on, is heading that direction, and Scott Summers has no idea why in the world their island is heading to that new island that just popped up out of nowhere. Now, while you have the Summers family heading towards this new island, you do have Rachel Summers ask Scott, does he know why in the world Krakoa is heading towards this new island? Now, for Scott Summers, he does tell her, no one has any idea why in the world their living island is heading towards this brand new island. Now, you do have Scott Summers say there is one person who is able to communicate with the island, and that is Cypher. The problem is though, Cypher is in space, and that is referencing what is happening right now in New Mutants, because we covered the first issue of New Mutants, and right now Cypher and the rest of the New Mutants are in space with the Starjammers, and of course they just got captured. And so right now Cypher cannot help the X-Men to communicate with Krakoa to figure out why in the world is Krakoa heading to this brand new island for. But of course the Summers family is gonna try their best to figure that out. Now, when it comes to any kind of piece of land on Earth, your mind begins to wonder what could possibly live on this island, animals or humans? And that is the big question for the Summers family. They want to know what in the world could possibly live on this island. And so when they are able to finally land, you do have the Summers family begin to explore the island to see if this island could possibly be a threat or a danger to Krakoa. Now, while they're going around the island, that is the moment they do see some kind of animal there. It looks like a rhinehorn. I could be wrong, but this island's version of a rhinehorn. Now, of course, you have the Summers family kind of like, okay, it doesn't seem that dangerous. It looks weird, but it's not that dangerous. But out of nowhere, a huge snake just comes out of nowhere and literally eats that thing. And you have the Summers family begin to freak out because they just saw that rhino get eaten alive by that huge snake. And so you have Cyclops, Cable, and Rachel Summers just use all their powers on that freaking snake and hope to kill it. Now, while you have the Summers family dealing with that huge snake, well, we do go underneath the ground where we pick up with a new character. Now, this character is right now being called a summoner, and we see him talking to some kind of figure that is stuck in a rock. And we get to see that this character is getting ready for something big, but we have no idea what big thing is coming at this point in Marvel Comics. Now, this summoner, there are marks on his chest that does tell us how high ranking he is when it comes to a summoner, because you do have Jonathan Hickman explain in the next page what kind of summoner he is, and he is a high summoner, meaning that he is very powerful. But the figure he was talking to, he calls that figure his mother, and his mother tells him, you must get ready, but the only thing you have a chance to know about, or grown to know about, is that war. You only got the chance to learn about war, and it's time for you to learn more things about the world, especially when you find him. Now, getting back over to the Summers family, well, that is the moment you actually have them continue to explore the island. And so we're left to believe that they were able to deal with that snake creature. Now, while they are exploring the island, well, that is the moment they do confront or get confronted by the High Summoner. And so when they see the High Summoner, they're kind of like, okay, So now we know that there is life on this island. And with life being on this island, what kind of language do they speak? And so you do have the Summers family try to talk to the High Summoner. But of course, there is a language barrier between the two sides. Now, this is the worst thing you could possibly do when you meet someone who can't speak your language and you're trying to learn if they are a threat or not. You have Cable actually walk over and hand the guy a grenade. A grenade. He's all like, hey, it's kind of like a peace offering or some kind of deal between two sides to say, hey, we're good. Don't worry. We got you. You got us. Now, of course, the grenade does go off. And with the grenade going off, it's kind of like, okay, Cable, you really thought handing him a grenade was a good idea. And now it went off. And now he's angry at us. What were you actually thinking? Now, of course, you do have the High Summoner show why he is a High Summoner, because he was able to summon all these different kinds of creatures to attack the Summers family. And so right now we do get this big battle. But while the battle is going on, you do have Scott Summers as Rachel Summers. Hey, listen. Remember, you were the one to be able to download our new mutant language in every mutant's mind when they arrive to Krakoa. Why haven't you download that language into this High Summoner's mind, so that we have the ability to actually communicate with him? And you have Rachel like, oh yeah, Dad, good idea. And so she does it. And of course, now they can understand one another. Now, once they're able to communicate with one another, you do have the High Summoner actually ask Cable, why in the world did you hand me that? It could have hurt me. And you have Cable say, listen, I really thought you wouldn't press the button, so I thought it was a good gift. And you have the High Summoner like, what does gift mean to you people? Because a gift doesn't cause people harm in any way possible. But either way, that is the moment you have Cyclops begin to talk to the High Summoner. Now, while they're talking to one another, you do have the High Summoner ask one question. And he says, Scott Summers, do you love someone? And of course, Scott says, I love many, but I do have that special one, even though it is very complicated. But that is the moment you have the High Summoner show why Krakoa is trying to reach this island, because this is the island we saw back in the House of X, Power of X videos. This is Arakko, and apparently Arakko and Krakoa have some kind of connection to one another. Now we are going to learn more about this connection in later videos, but for right now, we just find out that this island is really basically the soulmate to Krakoa. And you have the High Summoner leave and kind of say, hey, you and I are going to be neighbors now. Later, and leaves. Now, when it comes to the High Summoner, we get to learn that he has a connection with someone on Krakoa, and that connection is Apocalypse. He has connection with Apocalypse, and that is the moment we come to find out that apparently the High Summoner is a child of one of the original Horsemen of Apocalypse. And apparently the Horseman of Apocalypse is trying to hold back some kind of unknown force. And if this unknown force is able to break through the barrier of the Horsemen of Apocalypse, Arakko and Krakoa will be the first to fall. And you have Apocalypse say, don't worry, I'm here now, and I'm going to stop that before it actually happens. And this is where we are going to end today's comic book video. So please hit the like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. Later, guys.